to give thanks to God Almighty for this very beautiful day we're opportune to see and to celebrate the impact of the African women's, you know, the E for She and also the Global Excellence, you know, projects. You know, today is just the day one of this very beautiful event packaged by the E for She. Tomorrow we'll be having the awards, but for today, the summit is going to be very, very impactful. I acknowledge that, and I'd like for you to also be aware.
When you see women doing what they do and what they are passionate about, particularly on the landscape, the global stage now, what comes to your mind?
Like they say in my own local language, educate a woman and you've educated a whole nation. That's how it is. So women are the pivotal of development because they are the one that take care of the children, send moral instruction to the children, develop the children. Once women are involved in development, take it from me, development will come. Because women are the ones that coordinate the home. And once they are now in the frontier of development, everything will follow suit.
Women. I'm not of the ideology of the people that say that women's place should be in the kitchen or be a wife at home alone. Let me just use Ambassador Dr. Fatoumatta, for example, the convener of this event. She's a young lady that is eager to do exploits and continue to quarter towards a well-developed Africa. Personally, I call her the African Amazon. Yes, and I encourage every woman to pursue their dreams. And when you have a dream, you have a vision, pursue it, just as Fatoumatta is doing. And the truth is, every man out there will support you as a woman. That so long you are ready to pursue your dream, you have a dream, pursue your dream, every man will support you.
When I see them, I'm delighted because I, for one, I grew up from a background where my mother was my strength. He single-handedly imbibed some of the things we know and the resilience we have in us. So based on that, I know that women had so much potentials, but most of them are not paid for. So it keeps them or relegates them to the background. So when I see women come up to occupy the space, of course, I know that there's a great future for Africa. And I see business being revamped because when the women are engaged in the space, so much will be achieved. Much more will be achieved by their participation in business.
All right, we're going to start by observing a rendition of the Nigerian national anthem. So, ladies and gentlemen, I politely ask you, shall we rise for the Nigerian national anthem?
To start this program with the opening prayer, and please would like to call on Dr. Reverend Sam Oye for the Christian prayer. Please a round of applause for Dr. Reverend Sam Oye for the opening prayer.
Our Heavenly Father, we thank you for this morning. We thank you for the privilege of gathering together here. We ask that all that is intended will be executed with excellence. We ask that your blessing will be upon everyone here. In Jesus the Christ's mighty name we pray.
Okay, in respect of that, can we have Mr. Ibrahim Mohammed? He is the Nigerian Diaspora Forum CEO and also the African Diaspora Forum. Please, would like to indulge you to please do for us the Islamic prayer. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in all wisdom to succeed this event. Thank you.
Please, with a standing ovation, please come to rise as we acknowledge the presence of Dr. Fatoumatta Gaye to come give us the welcome address.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear a round of applause.
morning, everyone. Welcome again. And I want to say, first of all, the first thing I say at every point of my journey in Nigeria is I say, thank you, Nigeria. This country has been a blessing to my career and my life. You guys should clap for yourselves. It is with deep honor and immense gratitude that I welcome you all to the Global Excellence Summit today. That's the 2025 version, a defining moment for Africa as global allies. Today marks not just the beginning of a 2-day gathering, but also a movement, an ignition of bold vision, a vision built from excellence, driven by diplomacy, fueled by leadership, and made possible by collective commitment. With this, I want to say a big thank you to the GESA board members. Amazing work turning this upside down, you know, picking it from the ground top. It was just a vision when I started, but now it is actually coming to life. This summit stands as a testament that Africa is not waiting for the future. Africa is shaping the future, and we all know it. So Nigeria being the giant of Africa, hosting us today, we are honored. Global Excellence Summit has brought together global leaders from different parts of this continent who are actually doing amazingly well in their sectors. So you're blessed, we are blessed, and thank you all for being here. All right.
All right. We are about to start, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to listen to a keynote address, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, please.
Please, a round of applause for Mr. Uche Anonye, representing Dr. Madam Sarah Umar Kogu, the Honorable Commissioner of Code of Conduct, Tribunal Abuja.
A keynote address by Honorable Justice Menasara Ibrahim Kugo Umar, the Chairman, Code of Conduct Tribunal, at the Global Excellence Summit and Award 2025. It is in this context I feel enthusiastically grateful that I have been invited to come and stand before you and speak on the theme, Global Excellence in Diplomacy and Leadership, Africa Path to Prosperity. When we are talking in this context, we have no clinical X-ray. When we are talking in this context, we have to clinically X-ray ourselves within the ambience of the limitations of the jurisprudential legislation and the practical realities of our relation with the wider world. The African Union Charter, Chapter 1, Chapter 2, especially subsection 1 to 7, talks about the need for Africa to stand on our own historical heritage and become sovereign nation, irrespective of whatever position we find ourselves. Long live the African continent, long live the black race, long live the leaders of Africa. Thank you very much. Thank you all.
So we're going to take some goodwill remarks, and who are we going to beckon upon?
So for the goodwill remarks, please, a round of applause for the ECOWAS Commissioner, the Gambia High Chief Commissioner, and the African Union Board member, His Excellency Professor Tunji Asau. I got it right now. Thank you so much, sir, for your patience.
Your Excellency, the First Lady of Gambia, here present, His Excellency, the High Commissioner of Gambia to Nigeria, this is also the permanent representative to ECOWAS, His Excellency, the High Commissioner of Zambia to Nigeria, other government top officials here present, DGSAs. I will pause a little to pay specific attention to someone that I respected so much in the hub, Reverend Dr. Sampoye, who is my spiritual mentor, and his lovely wife here present, Mama Mary. distinguished colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, it is with great honor and profound gratitude that I stand before you today as the chairman of the Governing Council of the African Union 2023 Ambassadorial Assembly, as well as the Secretary General of the United World Congress of the Diplomats. We gather here for a momentum occasion, the Global Excellence Diplomacy and Business Summit and the AU Women Impact Award. Under the theme, Global Excellence in Diplomacy and Leadership, Africa Path to Prosperity. Let us harness the power of diplomacy and leadership to pave the way for an Africa that derives unity, strength, and excellence. I thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak again. I will ask all of you to sit, relax, and enjoy the rest of the event. Thank you.
Today it's all about celebrating women's impact. So please, if your hands are not so busy, a round of applause for the High Commissioner of the Republic of Zambia to Nigeria, His Excellency Mr. George Bohanli Imboa.
It is an immense privilege to stand before you today at this summit to celebrate the female diplomatic icon, a celebration of excellence of women and global affairs. Like I said at the beginning, I would like to thank all. I basically haven't come with a full speech, but the only thing I can gather from you is basically going by the theme of this particular meeting. And the only challenge that I've brought to you is basically looking at where we are, whether we will meet the 2063, which we should, because for me, I feel it is even very far that we should be articulating for 2063 when it should have been brought earlier than this. Africa should be united together so much so that at the end of the day, we make a strong force. And that's my message. If you look,
Coming up next for the next goodwill message. Please, a round of applause for the High Commissioner of the Republic of the Gambia to the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the Permanent Representative to the ECOWAS Commission, His Excellency Muhammadu Musa Njie.
Your Excellencies, it's a privilege and an honor to be able to talk to everyone today. And as diplomats, we are used to giving scripted speeches that our staff have gone through to make sure that we say the right things. And for today, initially, we want to go off script a little bit. And as I stand on existing protocols, I would like to firstly acknowledge all the excellencies, all the private sector players, the governor of this great city, Lagos, and his administration. I'd also like to acknowledge the great women of Africa. Let's give them a round of applause. Good morning, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It's an honor to be here today at the Global Excellence Summit and to witness the convergence of leadership diplomacy, and vision under one roof. As we gather in this period of Agenda 2063, Africa's bold and transformative blueprint for development, we are reminded that progress is not the work of one individual or a nation, but a collective journey made stronger by partnership, shared purpose, and visionary leadership. Leadership is just not leadership at the political level. Leadership is at the different levels, at the business level, at the community level, even at the grassroots level. So leadership is very important. Once again, I just want to plead with all of you that Africa will only be built by us. The West, yes, might give us aid, but they have their own interests, and it's natural. Each continent or each country protects their own interests. And our interest is Africa, and our interest is how do we look at our resources, redefine our educational curriculum to maximize the resources that we have, so that we can grow Africa and meet the agenda that we've set for ourselves. On that note, once again, I just want to thank you all, and congratulations on this successful summit.
Can we do something, please? Could you please give the High Commissioner a microphone? So you were saying something about looking into 4 areas you'd like for us. So we would really love to hear them, so if we could get them quickly. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. The 4 areas that I've always spoke about. Okay, let's start with the potential impact or benefits. We want to empower young people. We want to add value to our natural resources. We want to make sure that poverty is reduced. We want to make sure that we compete on an equal footing with the international community players. So those are what we want. So those are some of the 4 things that I have, and we can also discuss later on if those are interested.
Thank
and
you
I can
so much.
link you up with the other African countries partners. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is with a great and profound honor that I stand before you today at this defining moment in Africa's unfolding history. Let me say that this is not a moment of mere ceremony, but a catalytic convergence of history, hope, and the urgent call to a higher purpose for all of us in Africa. Today, I do not speak merely as a Nigerian. I speak as an African, a son of the soil. I speak as a steward of a higher vision, a firm believer in the greatness etched in the DNA of this great continent called Africa. I want to boldly declare that Africa is not behind. Africa is becoming. We are not a broken continent. We are an emerging people. And it's important for us to see ourselves from this light, because this is not a continent that is burdened with hopeless actualities, but a continent that is brimming with bold possibilities. As you look across the spectrum of Africa, you will see that Africa is gearing up for something that will shake the entire world. Africa will rise. Africa must rise. Africa is rising now, not in protest, but with purpose, not with imitation, but with innovation, not for applause, but for prosperity. Africa will build. Africa will lead. Africa will rise. God bless you.
Why does it thrill you so much that you decided to be part of this initiative?
Well, like I said, my name is Ambassadorial, Fatoumatta Bank Nigeria Limited. I handle trade. Trade in Africa is very important and is essential for us in Africa to collaborate, to come together, to develop Africa, because Africa is a new frontier. We need to develop ourselves rather than waiting for the European Union, the American, the Asian to come and develop us. we have to develop ourselves. We have to stop furnishing the world with raw materials. We have the raw materials, we have the human resources, we have the technology to develop ourselves inward. So the earlier we start looking at ourselves to collaborate, to integrate in technology, transportation, manufacturing, so that we can develop internally rather than wait for somebody from outside to come and develop us.
So good afternoon and welcome to our panel session. My name is Patricia Gaye. It's my great honor to welcome you to this critical conversation on exploring after regional investment, trade, and financial integration for economic growth in Africa. So today we're just going to explore the opportunities that AFTA creates for us. So to you, Aisha, you are in the sector that is transformative in its own right. It's about culture, it's about art. Can you just let us, educate us how you see your sector and the influence it could have on AFTA and on the continent?
So if we're looking at that, we're looking at how do we use cultural and creative diplomacy. So first of all, because the ambassador from Gambia, our High Commissioner from Gambia, did mention like Nigeria being an Afrobeats nation. People didn't need to come to Nigeria to get to know that. So what culture does for you, creativity and culture, is it introduces you to the people ahead of time. And I strongly believe Africa can use that to open up more doors for mutual understanding between ourselves. And the more we get to understand what we have, what we share together and what our differences are, it allows the Africa Continental Free Trade Agreement to even be easier and faster because we're doing this as brothers and sisters. So I think that would be my own contribution for now. Thank you.
So I'm going to just turn to my right. You are a serial entrepreneur. I'm not sure if you have considered the opportunities that AFTA represents for your business. And if so, what are they? And if not, why not?
Okay, when it comes to business and entrepreneurship across the continent of Africa, I think one of the barriers is red tape. And that's because governments in Africa, for lack of a better word, are uncoordinated. And that's because while we, preach the need to cooperate on the continental level, we've actually not sat down to create the necessary steps to be able to actualize that.
I think it's hard time Africans start believing in Africa. It's because of the hiccup and the trust in Africa that Africa don't believe in Africa. If Africa start believing in Africa, all these things will be very easy. But we decide to believe in Europe, we decide to believe in America. If an American come here, a white guy come here, we will believe him more than our fellow Africans. So that's why we're having a lot of hiccups in a lot of places. If you go to Europe, they are selling 5 years, 10 years vision for you. How many visions are we selling in Africa? We're not selling anything. We're only selling today. How can it benefit me today?
I am from a very tiny little country that His Excellency here represented. But I have been a very proud Gambian for the fact that we are one of the first countries in the entire continent that said to the world that as long as you're an African, you do not need a visa to come to Gambia.
We didn't just wake up and find Africa this way. So this is one of the reasons why history is important. We have to look at what we went through and the colonialism and how things were prepared. Because I can give a simple example. I'm from Kebbi State in northern Nigeria. The border between me and Niger Republic is less than 5 hours from my village. But to fly there, it takes me 24 hours. I have to go to another country to get to Niamey. So these are issues that I believe if we look at history and the way our policies were curated, the separation of francophone and lusophone and anglophone countries. This is where Africans need to remember the fact of storytelling and how we present ourselves and how the world has also presented us.
I'm sure most people are not even aware that every European country has its own currency, but the euro backs it up, which kind of gives some of their currencies value. If you take the euro out of it, I'm sure a lot of their currencies are useless to all of us. So we don't want it. That's also the same thing that happens to us. All African countries have different currencies everywhere. When nobody wants it, so we need to focus on infrastructure, which we will build, and also focus on ensuring that our manufacturing sectors are actually built to make things better.
Thank you.
One of the problems we have as Africans that we need to talk about is leadership. And leadership is not only at the political level. Leadership at the political level, yes, at the civil service level, at the private sector level, up to the point of the community level. We have problems. One, how do we select our leaders? It's a problem. And if you select your leader because he or she has the most money, or he or she talks best, that's a problem. We have to start letting the population know that we select leaders based on the track record, on the integrity, on the vision.
Today, we stand at the forefront of a transformative movement, celebrating the incredible women of power in legacy and diplomacy. As we gather under the inspiring theme, diplomacy as a tool for economic empowerment, fostering strategy, leadership, and global partnerships for Africa's prosperity. We recognize that women are the trailblazers shaping a brighter, more prosperous, and a fantastic future.
What would you like to say to the convener if you're to meet her right now?
Okay, I will encourage her to keep it up. Okay, she started well, and she has to keep the momentum, start grooming more women to occupy the space, and make women more productive. And also, it's not a bit to say why some preach gender equality. I am not a preacher for that. What I know is that women are productive. In fact, if I say more productive, I'm not mistaken, because the way God created them, they have ability to multitask. So because of that, they are the top.
I celebrate you, I celebrate Grace, and on behalf of everyone, I say thank you so much and congratulations to you. Thank you for having me, and God bless you all.
On behalf of our patron, His Majesty the King of England and the Head of Commonwealth, I'm so pleased to be here today to be part of this event and celebrate our sister. We cannot never celebrate her enough. I remember when I met her last year at the event in Abuja, I saw her determination, I saw her commitment.
So we've always known you to be very great support for women and also great initiatives like this. What may have inspired that initiative or that thought of yours?
All right, this is the very maiden edition of the Global Excellence Summit and Award, being put forward by my very good friend and business partner all the way from the Gambia. And she's in Nigeria, and putting up a project such as this that's so laudable. It's only ideal that I support her and make sure that the event comes to life, and we do all of our best to make sure that the event is happening today, just as you're seeing already.
When women are given the chance and right platform to strive, definitely it is easy for us to access or achieve what we yearn for. Thank you very much, Nigerians. Thank you very much, Africans. Thank you very much, my Excellency, our Honorable Ambassador of the Republic of the Gambia, and all ambassadors present here. Thank you, thank you. All I can say is thank you. I am honored. Madam Dr. Fatoumatta Gaye, thank you so much for not just raising the Gambian flag high, but of course bringing Africa together, and of course in Nigeria, our big brother. Thank you very much once again. I'm proud.
So today is about to wrap up, but it's the beginning of a day of excellence, which is tomorrow, where we'll celebrate 75 global leaders in Africa. People who are raising the flag of Africa, people who are building amazing work. Ma'am, thank you so much for honoring this day, and I hope to see you tomorrow because you'll be one of those that will be honored.
So I know that you're quite close to her. What should we expect going forward from now?
Oh, well. I told Fatoumatta the other day that she's doing something that took us 10 years to build in one edition. So if she could come up and do something this elaborate in just the first edition, what do you expect from other subsequent editions? Just get ready to be wowed.
Joy, everybody, Mr. Hilary, thank you everybody for putting this together. Let's meet tomorrow here. The red carpet starts at 4 p.m. The event starts at 6, 7 o'clock. We are going to celebrate excellence. We're going to make this a massive night. Dress as best as you can. Be as African as you can. Tomorrow is your day. Tomorrow you'll be celebrated, and you're celebrating people who have done amazing work. Thank you so much. Thank you so much to the MCs as well. This was an amazing day, and I'm honored that you guys came to host this event. Thank you. And Nigeria, I'm not just starting you. I'm about to.
We are ready for you.
When I'm done, Nigeria will remember my name.